Hello and welcome. We're going to take a trip to downtown Disney and take a look at the Star Wars Trading Post. Now, downtown Disney is located or on its way to both of the theme parks in California. There's lots and lots of different bits and pieces to have a look at, including all the different toys and clothes and backpacks and things that are outside the shop. Before we walk in, take a look at how you make your own lightsaber and all of the other exclusive toys, t-shirts, hoodies, and all that kind of thing that is on the inside. So if you're a Star Wars fan and a Disney fan, this is definitely one for you. Now, this shop is literally just over the road from the Lego store at downtown Disney. So the Lego store is just to the right-hand side. So you can walk between the two. Very, very easy indeed. And they do have lots and lots of Star Wars Lego in, obviously, the Lego store. Now, lots and lots of detail on the inside of the store. I did not manage to get to the Disney park while I was there. But obviously, I'm in the process of uploading all of the Legoland bits and pieces. But one day, I would either like to come back to the Disney, because I did Universal, or I'll get over to the Disney in Paris. Now, all of these, some of these will be exclusive to the park, I do believe, which might be the one that we're looking at right now. Underneath that, I think we've then got the 40th anniversary. And then underneath that, I think we've got some Pride ones and some other sort of limited edition runs that they might have done as well. So if you are a toy collector, at least you know that they are available outside of the park as well, because you do not need a ticket to get into downtown Disney and just have a look around like I am now. So you can go in and grab yourself a bite to eat. And they have huge shops of all the different merchandise underneath the Disney banner as well. So they've got the big outlets. So it's a nice place to come down and have a look. And it does look very, very effective. It starts to get a little bit darker because the Christmas decorations do look absolutely fantastic. So if you know what you are looking at, then obviously please let us know in the comment section below, because some of this will go directly over my head. I know some of them are very, very impressive to have a look at as well. Now, in the middle of the store, or towards the end of the video, shall I say, in the middle of the store, you have some custom end lightsabers, which we will be taking a good look at. So they did look very, very interesting with regards just to how the members of staff would then make your own sort of lightsaber up, because you can pick and choose the sort of the handle that, or the hilt, I think it might be called, of what it is that you want to sort of use. You can pick and choose your own one from the character from all of the different films. So you can see we've got BB-8, which is a nice looking thing. Some of these will be remote control, some of them will just be nice big statues. It's a bit odd looking at all of these, so I look at these from the Lego point of view, whereas these are now much of the larger scale toys, teddies, and other little bits and pieces dotted all over the place. But like I said, the theming inside the store did look very, very good, because obviously it's supposed to be an outpost, and the roof and everything like that did make it a nice experience to walk around. And you can imagine, if you are walking around, what the music on the inside would have been like. I had to mute the whole thing completely because it was all of the different Star Wars themes being played. Now, you probably spotted it straight away. You've got the new Ahsoka bits and pieces when you first came in. Lots and lots of different bits and pieces from Mandalorian as well. And then also you've got all of the other bits and pieces from all of the different films. So you've got all the Disney Plus shows and the main films in this shop. But I'd like to know on the inside of the park what detail they have with regards to the Disney Plus shows, rather than just the big films. I know this park had the big Falcon as the ride, and that's what I was hoping to have a look at and get on. But like I said, I could not get a ticket for the day that I was free, and which would have been today because it was completely sold out. And then the following day it was available, but I was moving on to the Legoland park. So I basically run out of days by one day, which is a little bit of a shame, but at the same time, it is what it is, and it gives me something to look forward to in the future. Now, if you're there for different types of merchandise with regards to bags, t-shirts, hoodies, or just something to remember your trip, and like I said, if you are a Star Wars fan, there is literally something for everybody. You've got even loads of Christmas decorations out, which I would imagine would change when the festive period is over, and then we come into Easter and different bits and pieces like that. So I would imagine that that area will rotate round over all 4 different seasons. It'd be interesting to see what they did for the Halloween series and season as well. And then you've got all of these cool little tops and sort of shirts as well. So you can see you've got the Enjoy the Blue Milk, lots of jumpers, and then you've got lots of smaller bags and lots of bigger teddy bears as well. And then you've got all of these things. If you just were interested in having a look at these, I don't think these are anything to do with regards to the props of the actual film, but it is just obviously like for like replicas of stuff that they would have used in the film. And it's a good photo opportunity. So if you wanted to stand in front of it and get your photo taken, you're obviously more than welcome to do that. And you've got all the teddy bears sort of dangling around. They look sort of a little bit weird and wonderful, dangling from that bit, but they are bags as well, I think. So it gives you a perspective of just how big those things are. And then just behind us, where that desk was, that is where we're going to be having a look at your custom lightsabers. And I think you can choose the color of the actual bar as well. So they get very, very pricey. And then there's a bit on the inside where you can walk around and just make up your own, which did look very, very good fun to do. But you can see you've got all sorts of different Star Wars t-shirts in there. I don't think they had many hoodies. There was lots and lots of jumpers and lots of t-shirts. I don't tend to wear jumpers because I prefer a hoodie because I need a kangaroo pouch to put all my bits and pieces in. So I always walk around in shorts and a hoodie, and I don't have any pockets in my shorts. So if you do spot one of these hoodies as we're going around, let us know, because I did have a look and I couldn't see any of them. But here we go. Build your own lightsaber. So this is, I was going to say, the less expensive way of doing it. So you've got your different steps. You can see that you can basically pick and choose your own way of doing it, and then you can then just basically make it up as you go around. So you've got your different ways, you've got your different steps, and you can see that you can just choose your different bits and pieces. Now behind the counter, that's where you get your very, very expensive ones from, because they are almost lifelike, I do believe, and you can just use what they had in the films, and some of them do get very expensive, and we'll be having a look at that towards the end of this video. They do look very, very impressive. So if you do have a couple of them on collection and you ever can get yourself to one of the theme parks or one of the downtown Disney stores anywhere around the world, it'll be a good place to go to and try and pick yourself one of them up. Now, you've got loads and loads of 6-inch there. So you can, if you're a big collector of these or the smaller ones, they have some very, very good sort of battle packs, I guess, with regards to all of the different troopers in there. Do look very, very effective. And obviously, you've got the Mando on the one at the bottom. So they are a full mix and match of all sorts of different bits and pieces. You can see there, look, they are a deluxe figurine set. So like I said, something for everybody. And if you're into your artwork and posters, they had a lot of these to pick from, but I couldn't actually spin this around because it was pinned to something else. I nearly knocked something over, so I just didn't bother. So you can see that the bigger ones were stuck against that. But if you wanted to get yourself some nice photos, nothing was signed. There was none of that kind of stuff in this store, but it did look very, very nice. And I would imagine they rotate all the stock in this store all of the time. So I did like the little Mando picture on the bottom left, and you've got all of them from the different films as we're coming up and through. So you're going to spot a lot more than what I am. But again, I massively appreciated the effort that went into the theming of this store. But it did have a very, very nice atmosphere when you were walking around, just with all of the music playing, and just sort of it was one of those where you could just walk around and just take your time. And it was just a really, really nice environment to be in, which is quite hard to do in a retail outlet where somewhere it's so busy. Now there is loads and loads of toys on display, but yes, that area is that dark you can't see a thing. So that is what that is. And then you've got the big helmets. These things were massive. They look much bigger than what I actually thought they were. So I can imagine the boxes for these things would have been absolutely enormous. But don't forget the prices that we are looking at different compared to the UK is you've got to add tax on. Whereas in the UK, the price is the price. You have to add tax on, and depending on what state will depend on what tax gets added as well, which makes it even more confusing. But I guess if you're a local, something you might get used to or you might never get used to, but it throws me every single time. Now you've got all of the Mandalorian bits and pieces, and you've got all of the different artwork and sort of t-shirts and stuff and all the prints on there. Again, did look very, very nice. Loads and loads of different bits and pieces. And if you look at the ages, some of the helmets that we were looking at, they were obviously adult collectors, and then you've got the younger ones as well, all mixed in together. So you really do have something for everybody. But we only do have a couple of minutes left, guys. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Like I said, this video is linked to a Legoland adventure. So all of the Legoland playlists are available from all the different ones around the world. And then what I've done, I've added in all the different types of accommodation of where I've stayed, just to try and make your trips as easy as possible. So in this trip, I managed to come down to downtown Disney. I managed to do Universal, and I also managed to do the Legoland as well. And like I said, we've got all the different hotels where the best place is to stay, and they will be available in all of the different playlists, the accommodation, how to get around playlists. And I've done the same thing for Billund, done the same thing for Dubai, and I will be doing the same thing for other places that I visit in the future, just to try and make your trips as easy as possible. So that is the point of this channel. So as we're running out of time and we've only got a minute or two left, I think we're going to have a quick look at some of the big teddies. and then we'll get on to the fruity stuff, which is the bit that is in the glass cabinet. And I do believe I've even slowed that down, and you even might have to pause it because there are so many of them. And I know that some of you are really going to like it, that you might end up wanting to order yourself one of them potentially, because they did look very good and they were selling very, very quick. There was a queue of these. So you can see that you've got all of the, they are hilts. I did get it right. So there we go. But just for the hilt by itself, look, that's $169. That's $159. That is $119, depending on what one it is. There's another one for $119, another one for $160. So that's Rey Skywalker's there. And then you've got all of the others on the one side. And you can see just the size. They look amazing in person. Then you've got these on the other side. So again, different prices for different actors and characters, shall I say. Some of them do go up to $250, I think. But these are just for the hilts. That doesn't actually include the actual blade bit, I don't think. Some of them might have been a set. Some of them might have been individual, but you might have to go back and pause that. That is the only footage I could get from that. So I managed to get in between people just before the next person wanted to buy one. And like I said, when I was in there must have been at least 2 or 3 sold. So that's how quickly they were selling. But then obviously you've got the smaller area for sort of like the cheaper price point as well. But they did have some very, very festive Christmas jumpers. But guys, that is it. I am done. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you're a Star Wars fan, let us know if you've been here before and let me know what the theme park is like. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care and I'll see you next one. Ta-da.